Welcome. I'm Mike Davidson on Voices of the Silenced, a program exposing ideologies that undermine Judeo-Christian foundations and values in Western societies. The UK charity Stonewall recently released their UK General Election Manifesto 2017. The concern of their Acceptance Without Exception campaign is to gain commitments from UK general election candidates to advance what they call gay rights in the UK. According to the Stonewall Manifesto, their 6 areas of priority address the discrimination that they claim LGBT people still experience in the UK. But Stonewall is also setting its political sights well beyond the borders of the UK, seeking to encourage the UK government to enforce its ideology on overseas countries as well. Make no mistake, their reach is international and their well-funded ambassadors are working all over the world. The Stonewall Manifesto is something you need to be familiar with wherever you live in the world. So what are Stonewall's 6 priorities, and what do these really mean for ordinary people who value democratic principles, equality, fairness, and compassion? Download the Core Issues Trust document, challenging the Stonewall General Election 2017 Manifesto right now. Be informed about Stonewall's influence in the governance of our land and beyond. They say, firstly, that they want to protect LGBT rights and improve them. Essentially, the manifesto reveals that this means allowing men to declare that they're women and to use women-only services and accommodation. They should be allowed to do this without having to go through reassignment surgery. Women and girls would have no legal right to object, and to do so will equate to hate speech. Second, Stonewall calls on government officials to take hate crimes against LGBT people seriously and give them the punishments they deserve. What this really means is criminalizing free speech and critical debate on sexuality and gender identity. Hate crimes may be claimed by gay people, but not by others. This means that telling a man that he isn't a woman, or saying that men can't become women, or that boys can't become girls, is hate speech. Thirdly, Stonewall calls on elected government officials to take a zero-tolerance approach to bullying in schools. What this means is treating as bullies school children who are troubled by other children identifying as the opposite gender. Teachers' right to challenge and criticize anything to do with transgender identification or homosexuality with regard to negative effects on young people would be seriously curtailed. Children who express discomfort over opposite-sex peers being allowed to share dormitories, toilets and changing rooms with them on the grounds of identifying as transgender will be branded as bullies, troublemakers, and even haters. The 4th Stonewall priority is to make the NHS a better service for LGBT people. What this means is that Stonewall want an end to discrimination on men who have sex with men in blood donation. They want donations to be screened according to individual risk instead. This would be very costly to the National Health Service. Stonewall priority number 5 calls on officials to commit to kicking homophobia and transphobia out of sport. What this really means is allowing boys and men who say that they are female to compete in girls' and women's sports. How long will it be before girls and women can never win in sports competitions because men who say they are women choose to compete against them and win? This will end up shutting down female sports and affecting the health of women and girls. This will lead to eroding single-sex sports, by capitulating to transgender activism. The next Wimbledon ladies tennis champion could well be a man. Priority number 6 calls elected leaders to stand up for LGBT people abroad. Stonewall wants the next UK government to put LGBT rights at the heart of its agenda in international affairs through diplomacy, trade deals, and ensuring organisations receiving UK aid don't leave LGBT people behind. In reality, the UK government has already said that it promotes LGBT rights at the United Nations. It's also been accused of pushing same-sex marriage on Australia, despite the fact that same-sex marriage is not permitted there. In other words, what this really means is pushing the UK government to redefine marriage around the world, depriving children in other countries of a mother or father, and threatening to withhold aid from countries that do not comply. Download our document challenging the Stonewall General Election 2017 Manifesto today. Make sure you're not part of Stonewall's determination to eliminate the biological differences that are an integral part of the human race. Men and women are equal, but not identical. They're equal and complementary.